Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are here for Boise State's long-awaited Mountain West 2024 debut. Boise State is ready to face off against their first opponent in this tournament in what is a very crucial year for Mountain West Championships. We'll get into why so a little bit later, but right now I want to introduce myself. My name is Jacob Palmer. I'm your host, and I've got Hayden Dalton with me to call all of the action with you. Hayden, of all the great regional rivals that are in the Mountain West, who is Boise State going up against first?
Going up against New Mexico here. So, you know, this team, they're the Lobos. No idea exactly their power ranking here, but this is a big match for Boise State. You want to start out strong and kind of get that ball rolling early and kind of keep that momentum and show that you're here to win.
I was overhearing Doc a little bit earlier here tonight, and he described this match as a must-win, okay? We really want to end this night on a positive note, and the Broncos have had a lot of upset losses so far this week that have really shaken their standings in certain tournaments. We don't want that to happen to the Mountain West because this year we have 3 years won the championship for Overwatch in Mountain West, and UNLV has also won the championship for 3 years. So this is a very crucial tie-breaking year, and the Broncos want more than anything to claim the championship for a 4th year in a row. But that has to start with the first match, and how do they win the first match? Well, they follow Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch, and that's never to take a fair fight, and that means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared and try to take advantage of that tempo. It's brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're a new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Now let's get on down to the action and see what we have lined up for us in this particular matchup. We'll be going in the standard order. Actually, I don't quite know that in standard order because this is Mountain West, but normally NA Star League has been following the order of Control, Hybrid, Flashpoint, Push, and then Payload. We'll most likely be starting out on Control because that's where we always start out. Boise State ready to jump in. We're also going to see a debut of a few new players as well. Kel, who was up here for the first match of the night on Dusk, is now down on the field, ready to jump in and help the Broncos. And we also got Daydream being part of the starting lineup, being in as a support player. So some new faces, a couple of returning ones from the last match, but should be fun to watch all around. And Hayden, if you had to, put an importance, I know Doc clarified this as a must-win, but on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, you got to give that probably like a solid 9. Like, it's not an end-all, be-all, but it is a big match. You want to make that message.
Yeah, I would say 9 is probably a very fair number because, 10 would be, the championship. You made it to the World Finals. That's obviously a 10. But judging on how things have gone for the Broncos so far, yeah, I would say a 9 because 2 unexpected losses yesterday in Rocket League, and we just dropped a game against Bellevue. This is the time to turn things around. This is the time to end the night on a positive note, leave good omens for the Valorant team, which is going to be playing tomorrow, and they're going to be going up against the same school that the Rocket League team faced yesterday, South Florida. So far, yeah, I would get a bit of revenge for the Broncos. Let's see if we can start it off on the right foot as we head on down into a view of all the various stages that can be brought out here. Just this giant, huge icebreaker, which wasn't necessarily too successful in its mission, it looks like here. It looks pretty darn stuck to me.
Yeah, sometimes you break the ice, sometimes the ice breaks you.
Depending on where you are in the world. There are a few choice countries where the ice is going to break you instead. But enough of that. Let's get on down to the field and see what the Broncos are going to be bringing out for the first fight. Boise State in the blue, big surprise. New Mexico is going to be in the red, and hey, it's their team colors. It's great serendipity. Boise State now trying to make their way onto the point. Clear is going to be pushed on to the Reaper. Kel is going to place onto the all-important tank roll. Onto the Zarya. We'll see how much he can get that charge up, as an already Barracks has taken a bit of damage. Matt Merck lands a good pick against Faraday. Boise State is now up 1 in this fight. Matt Merck is going to get life ripped on out of there to a higher vantage point. We got a fight going on between the two Shimada brothers. It's going to go in favor of Hanzo, a.k.a. Matt Merck. Clear also picks one up against the Lobos. Boise State takes the first fight.
Yeah, what great shots there. We see Matt Merck getting some shots on the Casty as well. Kind of got the Lucio Bozeman kind of isolated from their group, but no one able to follow up and kind of eliminate them.
A little bit of the spray of the Panda for good luck. Of course, if they really wanted good luck, they should have said hi to the Penguins in the caves, but I can't say which team has done that or which hasn't. All you can judge by is the battlefield, and Faraday is very low on health. A bit of a sneaky push onto the point by Kurama. He's able to take out the Reaper. Kel now comes back onto the point to contest it a bit, and a face-off right up in the high ground against Matt Merck and Faraday. Matt Merck wins again. Matt Hanzo has been the #1 target of his bow.
Yeah, just landing all these shots. Yep, right there, picking off the support and Lucio to keep healing them. You can see the Life Weaver tree coming out as well, gonna keep everyone alive through the Dragon Blade. And Matt Merck brings down the other Shimada brother again, showing which one is winning this rivalry right now. I believe that's 3-0 for Hanzo.
Pretty darn in favor of the Hanzo fans. All three of them. But now we go into this next fight. Daydream taking a whole bunch of damage, can't get on out of there. That's a nice knife landed by Barracks. Matt Merck is trying to even things up. Wins the Shimada duo again, so now it's 4-0. Bozeman gets the pick on to Clear, so Boise State is down one. Lyric gets a nice one onto Faraday. Kitsune Rush used by New Mexico. There's not too many players left to use it on. They're spending all of their ultimates to get back onto the point and clean the Rampage and beat. Boise State, though, still staying alive, can recontest as a team. This is a huge push as Kel takes out their tank. Dragon Strike as well as they move on toward the point, and they've got it back, hardly giving New Mexico any points despite all the ults they spent.
Yep, gets taken out by Faraday, unfortunately, but even without a tank, Boise State was able to push back in and take that point back in their control. 80% here, not much of a many more chances for New Mexico here. They probably got one more fight in them. Kitsune Rush up for Boise State to 0 ults for New Mexico right now. Probably going to be do or die here any moment now.
Clear gets eliminated by Kurama, and Kurama brings that up to a double by taking out Matt Merck. Both DPSs dead for Boise State, but Lyric is going to be a DPS in his own right. Was a melee onto Kurama. Faraday brings out that Deadeye, the only ultimate Lobos can use, but it'll be enough to help them take control of the point. The time is ticking up for them. Boise State stuck at 99, but Cal doing a great job on the Zarya. Takes out 2 using that Gravitron Surge, and a little bit more for good luck. Fully charged with the Zarya, strong as the mountain, and taking the point for Boise State.
Yeah, just what a crazy Graviton there, getting 4 members and being at such high charge. There's not much you can do in that situation without a sound barrier.
And that is it. Boise State takes Icebreaker in convincing fashion. And I really liked, the Lobos had this very crucial, the fight before this, they had a very crucial, they used everything, the beat, the Rampage, because they still had the Junker Queen and the Kitsune Rush. And Boise State already was kind of going for a soft reset because a few of their players have been taken out in the team fight. So they just kind of hung back just a little bit, let them have the point for that 5 to 10 seconds, and then came back as a full team. No ultimates whatsoever for the Lobos to use. And then from there on out, smooth sailing. Now we move on to laboratories.
3, 2,
Yeah, but unfortunately, at least not what I've seen, no penguins on this map.
the objective.
No, you don't start out in the same cave, I believe, so I'll never quite know if someone paid their homage to them for good luck. Maybe Boise State doesn't need good luck. Matt Merck has been bringing out the Widow. First time we've seen the Widow against somebody. Gonna wait for someone to peek out through that show. Meanwhile, Kurama taking a whole bunch of damage. Melee from Clear is gonna clean that up. Boise State is up 1 as they move on toward the capture point with a bit of high ground to boot. And there's no one from New Mexico touching the point, so it's gonna be a pretty safe take for the Broncos.
Yep, get the point. I don't believe anyone on either side has even fallen yet. New Mexico just kind of backing away and letting Boise State have this. Boise State getting good control. Matt Merck picking up Faraday on the Soldier 76, bringing them down to a 5v4 right now.
Mexico is trying to out Zarya. Boise State putting a bit of a bubble on some of their squishies, but Boise State is still finding picks here and there. Look at this angle. Matt Mercaz will see if anything comes of it as Kurama gets taken down to half health. Barracks also hurting. Boise State going to be making their way past 30. Nice pick by Matt Merck. There, we were wondering if that angle was going to pay off. It did. They've got the Genji down, and Boise State making a ton of room for themselves, still maintaining control.
Yeah, we see just this very aggressive Widowmaker, like even
No one
not
can
necessarily
hide
getting any
from
hits
my
right now, just the
sight.
fact that they know they're holding that angle is making it very tough for New Mexico to push here. See the wall hacks coming out here. Not going to be getting any cheeky flakes against the Broncos at this moment. And it looks like they're just kind of waiting it out and trading a little bit back and forth here.
Ooh, shot by right onto the Genji. It's not enough, though, to get the pick. They'll have to rely on Clear's melee. Barracks also low on health. Cleaned up by Daydream. That's a huge pick. Nice job, Daydream. And Boise State just continuing on the elimination train, going past 70%, putting Mexico now down to one fight territory for the match.
Yep. Lyric here just doing a good job keeping everyone fully healed, topped off, pulling Kel back out, making sure they don't get in any danger. They still have the tree in case any major push happens here, which has to be soon if New Mexico wants a chance to contest this. But Kel managed to pick up the Genji, who had Dragon Blade. Probably not going to be up for this last fight unless they can stall it out. It's going to be a huge pick.
Bit of a flank off to the side. Tree of Life is going to be expended by Boise State. Kitsune Rush and Beat spent by the Lobos. Boise State uses their own Kitsune Rush. Zarya bubbles are out to try to charge Barracks up for this Graviton surge. Their Lucio's very low on health, but it's Clear and Kel who come storming in and are going to take out a whole bunch of the Lobos, but they are fighting back. They've got 2 picks against the Broncos. Clear is able to get rid of the Lobos tank. That's a huge pick, and Kel cleans it up, getting rid of Kurama and securing Antarctica for the Broncos.
What a play at the end there. Locks him down at the Graviton. It gets pulled away by the Life Weaver. It's like, no, well, you stay there. I'm going to go here.
We'll see who gets the brownie points to play the game. It was Matt Merck, who had a great debut on the Hanzo. Completely won the fight of the Shimadas, as we were saying, went 4 for 0 in the direct face-offs I counted. And of course, we did see some great team. Yeah, there we go. The final fist to the face of the estranged brother. And now we move on toward Hybrid, which is going to be the Lobos' choice and most likely the choice that we have all expected going on to Kings Row. But don't want to get too overconfident here because this is where things went all awry for the Broncos in the last game as well.
Yeah, you know, Kings Row, what we in the production room we always say either it's going to be ending on point 1 or it's going all 3 points. Sometimes in overtime, there is never a spot where it just finishes. They capture the car, get halfway, and stop. It's always at the end or the beginning. So, kind of seeing that, we have to see if the Broncos are ready to stomp and just hold that first point, or if it's going all 3.
Don't want to really let it go past point 1. I think the mood the Broncos are in is we've had kind of enough upset losses. Let's just end it right here, right now. Don't even fool around with it. Don't look at anything besides winning. But that is, of course, if Kings Row is picked, which is most likely, though we have been surprised there a few times here and there. And it kind of depends. Kel was talking a little bit earlier in Game 1. Kind of depends on what comp you want to run, whether you want to go more brawly or bring something a little bit different out. I mean, the Broncos, if they're wanting to defend, Kel did say, you know, on Eichenwald, that's a very tough second point to take.
There
Nope, it's
is.
going to be Kings Row, just like we thought.
Yeah. You know, I only know Eichenwald is the only other hybrid map, because is there a third one?
Yes, there are more hybrid stages.
Well,
There's
in the competitive roster.
Well, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think I've seen any others but those two.
I mean, us casters up here, especially Artie, will remind you that Blizzard World is, in fact, a hybrid stage. Might not always be in the competitive roster, but we'll always constantly remind that is a stage that might every now and then be a chance to pick, and then it's never picked, and we just lose our will to go on every single time.
Yeah, you got to give yourself just that little bit of hope that maybe it won't be Kings Row. Maybe it'll be Blizzard World, but yeah, it's a tough life.
Yeah, them is the breaks. Boise State, though, knows what they're going to be playing, and if I know the Broncos, I know they're probably going to be going defense first, trying to hold that point out all the way. But it is definitely a situation where you don't want to really lose one team fight, because that can, with how far away that spawn is, that can be a tough thing to reset. So it has to be kind of a perfect win fight situation. As the Broncos ready to go up against the Lobos in Game 2 of this Mountain West Showdown Best of 5. Can the Broncos avoid where they tripped up last time and drive this toward game point? Chance to end it all on Flashpoint. Let's get down to the field, see what the Broncos are bringing to the table, and find out the answer to this main question.
Yeah, kind of going into this, I think from the last match, you mentioned like getting eliminated early on this map as defense is such a detriment because of how far that respawn point is for the defense side. And I think last time we were here earlier today, we kind of saw that where I forget who it was, but I think as the Reaper got picked early on, and it kind of just cascades because being down one person, it's going to take them a long time to get back compared to the defense or the attacker side where the spawn door is like 30 feet from the point.
Seems that Boise State is favoring the JQ for their tank pick, whereas New Mexico is going to stick on the Zarya. Ready to move on in, nothing too much changing here or there, although we have gone over to Sojourn instead of the Hanzo. Matt is also changing things up, bringing out the Echo instead, so a little bit of air advantage. New Mexico tries to push past the first point, put the bubble onto Zarya. State doesn't want to charge that one up too fast. They're holding firm. A hack goes on to Kel, and as soon as they say that, Kurama just comes in and takes out Clear. Another hack going on to Kel. There's nothing the Broncos can do about it. They are trying to bring this back, though. Lyric gets one pick, and she's so low, the Carigo. Trying to get the pick, but now it's a 3-on-1, and it slips right through the Broncos' fingers.
Lyric just holding their own, picks off a tank, almost picks off a support, all by themselves in enemy territory. With valiant effort.
Kel has swapped over to the Winston. Can he actually get back onto the point to touch it, or are they going to let New Mexico have this one? They go in for the recontest, trying to get a pick. Boy, they do manage to get a touch, and Matmer comes in, getting a pick onto Bozeman. Where does it lead from here? Machine is a little bit low on health. Daedrin and Matmer also hurting just a bit, but they manage to heal back up. Clear getting the second pick onto Kurama. Key DPS taken out, and the tank is right behind them. Now Silhouette is the fourth one to be taken out in this team fight, and the Broncos have had a successful hold and managed to recover.
Yeah, you could see them debating on going in or not, but last minute, and it paid off big time there, knocking out 4 of them and kind of staggering them slightly as they eliminated them during the retreat, buying Boise State quite a bit more time to burn here.
Work has this copy that he can use. That'd be kind of interesting if he decides to copy to Zarya. It has. Let's play a little bit of Overwatch 1. 2 tanks now for Boise State, ready to just go on in. Will he be able to get the charge? He's already up to 40%. The beat is spent by New Mexico. There are 3 Zaryas on the field right now. So many bubbles and so many shields. Clear uses the beat. He gets hacked into spawn. Vanberg has his first pick. He gets taken out of his copy, but Boise State is still winning this team fight. Genji Blade is going to be enough to turn things around. Look at those 3 picks from the Lobos, but Clear comes through in shining colors with a triple of his own. The post bomb comes through clutch, and Boise State still holds the point.
Oh man, what a fight there. We saw ultimates from both sides. That was a do-or-die fight, and the Broncos being able to pick up those 2 supports right at the beginning of the fight, managed to pull through and hold for another round.
He's going to start out with a Graviton Surge. Boise State uses Kitsune Rush and the Primal Fury in response, and like a landslide, it's a team-wide for Broncos. New Mexico goes back to start yet again.
1 minute left here on the attack. I do like the cheeky hidden switch to Bastion there.
On the Lego skin, no less.
Oh, of course, that's the only viable choice.
Wild Kel hanging out on top of the theater, might be trying to sneaky flank, but it seems they see him. Talk about sneaky angles. It's a good one Matt Merck has from Hotel, waiting for them to push through. Machine does have this hack, though, and Kurama got way out of a position. Gets eliminated by Matt Merck, and now 1 squad member down, make that 2. Both DPSs are gone, and this is not the time that New Mexico wants to reset their sub 30 seconds. Only going to have a chance to get one more fight, maybe. That's a great final pick by Matt Merck, who coincidentally has probably the perfect ult to make sure that New Mexico just can't step foot outside of their spawn. It's artillery time, ready to just lock down this choke point. Targeting the tank, only barracks. Can they get out of there? They can bubble through it, as Bozeman also taking a good bit of damage. He's going to bring out the beat. Hack being placed onto 3 of Boise State. That is huge. Lyric still surviving, gets the pick on to the Sombra, but with that beat, New Mexico can tank through this. Lyric holding on by a thread. He's not going to be able to survive. Clear also hanging on. Doesn't probably want to use this pulse bomb. It's going to be a reset, but they bled all the time that they could off from New Mexico.
Yeah, down to the last second, giving New Mexico only 2 minutes and 25 seconds to work with here to push this payload to the next checkpoint. Boise State sitting in a good position here. Clear wisely not using the pulse bomb. Will have it ready for this next engagement.
Nice little grenade being thrown out there. It's getting just good chip damage against the Lobos. Genji Blade with the combinations of the Kitsune Rush. Beat used in response, trying to help Boise State survive, but Kel is low on health. He does manage to survive. Madmer gets hacked. That Bastion is just a sitting duck when he can't go into his artillery form. Lyric also taking a good bit of damage. He's down to half health. New Mexico did have to spend their Genji for it, but Kel, for Boise State, he's managing to survive and still picks up against New Mexico. He brings out a Gravitron Surge against the Broncos. Doesn't really result in any eliminations. Lyric wins a Lucio duel, and the Broncos look to be standing strong, but the payload is slowly moving forward.
Yeah, we have 2 ultimates up for the Broncos here, but they don't really need them. Doing a great job staggering New Mexico here, losing their tank, a support, and a DPS after the fight was won already, buying a bit more time for the Broncos. And they have these ultimates ready. They're sitting in a good position, not only from that fight, but for the next fight. Artillery Strike also coming online here. Going to be a great tool to stall or pair up with this.
Clear, my goodness, just barely managed to survive, but he's still there. Leaning on his Gravitron Surge. You have the artillery that you can pair it in, and that is indeed what Boise State's going to do. Zarya bubbles go out. That's a lot of damage eaten, and that's going to be one charge Zarya for the Lobos. Boise State, Lyric takes hit now by Kurama. That Zarya is so charged up. That is such a scary sight. Mattel also has a full charge and is able to stand toe-to-toe with the Lobos. It's now trying to clear off the last 2 squishies, chases them through Hotel. Now it's just the Genji who's so desperately trying to get away for the health pack. Boise State corners him, and it's another elimination for the Broncos. Despite the last-minute Zarya bubble, I say that this first push is OVER over.
Oh, wow. Quick switch to the Doomfist, actually getting them onto the point, flying through the air past everyone, onto the cart. Look at the touch, but don't believe it'll be enough, and that will be first round for Boise State.
So what was that about production saying it usually is the first point and not, or either the third, it never stops in the streets, and that's happened in the last 2 times we've seen Kings Row?
Yep.
Well, not the last 2 times because there was the game earlier today, but earlier on last week, they also stopped in the streets. So much for that saying.
Yeah, I cast or cursed myself there. I only have myself to blame for that one.
Also, maybe it's the time, I mean, we were talking a little bit about how the team kind of prefers the moodier nighttime setting of Kings Row, but we're in daytime, and it's a lot better result for the Broncos. So, you know, maybe your parents were right. Get your daily dose of daylight, you know?
Yeah, we got nap time diff, apparently. Going into this one, now the Broncos just have to capture this point and push it past that point. Not much room for error on New Mexico's side here. Get into this next round.
Hammer person obviously wants to be a very sneaky person right now. Just creeping on through these alleyways. We did talk about being sneaky. They're still staying on the Sombra, it looks like, for the Lobos.
Yep, interesting.
5,
using it on the defensive side.
2,
I
1.
feel like, I don't know. It can work out. They get control of these health packs, so as we get into this round, we see Baptiste coming out here, and
Oh, Rhine time. We'll see how far Rectangle Man can push the Broncos. They're trying to hold out through the choke point, wait
They're
for the
about to do
coordinated
it.
push.
they got the Sim and the Bastion.
Oh, we might be seeing the classic. Do my doth my eyes deceive me? And do we see the traditional Statue of Liberty play? I don't know if the Broncos want to get that cheeky. No, they're going to use the Symmetra teleport just a bit more standard. Might even as a bait, actually, as it gets taken out right in the middle of the field. And Kel, just off of pure Rhine strength, goes right up, makes space for the Broncos, and it's a quick first point taken.
Yeah, it was almost, I feel like it was kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, they're going to do it, and they're preparing for it, and then they don't. Catch them off guard with that. And yeah, they just kind of chip away at them and take that first point. Now they just have to bring it through this archway. And with some ultimates almost online here, this could be a very decisive fight coming up.
What Daydream has to do back here is going to get some help with that immortality field. One of the Broncos already got taken out clear. Has to wait for a team fight. They're really focusing down the supports right now. Can they get out of there? They do, but there's a lot of fire from up above, trying to keep both supports alive. As there's a fight back and forth, New Mexico gets a pick against the Broncos. Hack onto Kel as well, but before that hack, he managed to get one flame strike onto the very person who hacked him. Oh, poetic justice! And can the Broncos continue to move forward? They can, as Lyric gets rid of Kurama. They're hanging on by a thread, but Kel is still alive, and they push the photon barrier out as well. The Broncos survive and continue moving forward. This match could be over.
And I think with that, yep, that is all they wrote with that one. Oh, no?
No, now issue the coup de grace, that is it! The Broncos win Kings Row and move on to match point.
Now, who gets to play the game there? Because there was some pretty... there was a Junkrat switch apparently at the end.
It's going to be clear on the Tracer. We'll see exactly what they wanted to pick. A bit of confusion from up on stage as well. One of the players obviously going, what? Because, yeah, I mean, that's a good triple. I mean, you know, our plays like that, just being a good, dependable. You know what? Actually, that was the fight, now that I remember that team fight, to help kind of turn it around. So actually, you know, low-key, that probably is the right choice there.
Yeah, that fight just cascaded into the rest of the match going as well as it did, being able to hold that one more fight longer than they should have.
Now Boise State just with one stage left between them and potential victory, a much-needed one to end the night on a positive note. We still have to go to Flashpoint, however, and if we're joking about how sure of a pick Kings Row is, then Flashpoint is even more of a sure pick here.
Yeah, when you only got the options you do for Flashpoint, there's not much. I mean, everyone loves to joke about New Junk City, but I don't think we'll be seeing it here.
I mean, we saw it last week. This, I think, the same match that they got stopped in streets again as well. So maybe conventional wisdom could know it is going to be Servasta. Just as we would have predicted there. So Broncos only one away on a stage that they have played to death, and we'll see if New Mexico was just as adept at getting that stage as well.
Yep, and we've seen like the Broncos put up a very good fight last time on this map, even though they didn't win it. In their earlier match, they got a lot of these points very close, and so I feel like the Broncos are kind of warmed up and just kind of in their stride now with this match. They know what to expect, or they're in the flow of it.
Well, it's the opening of the Mountain West Conference, and Boise State is just one round away from getting their first W of the season. Can they start things off great and put themselves in prime position to win the championships for a fourth year running and take away the ultimate win record from UNLV? It's a long road to that, but the first step might just be taken here on Servasta. Broncos and Lobos ready to go.
Yeah, as we see both these teams about ready to make it to this point. This first fight is very decisive, is very crucial, as gaining control of the point kind of dictates the flow of the match, where it's kind of like now the other team has all the pressure on them to take it. And so seeing this first fight, Broncos really want this to go well. We do see got quite a bit.
Ready to head on into the first fight on point. Daydream trying to take a few knife shots, maybe get a pick to start things off. Kurama tank down and out for the count. I think this first team fight goes in favor of the Lobos.
Yeah, we see only a few members left, but kind of sticking around here. Need to be careful. Luckily, it's members of high mobility. If they can get a pick and just back off, that'd be huge for this upcoming fight. The rewind coming out here. Clear trying to get some chip damage on and just be a general nuisance in the back line as Tracer. Getting some good damage. Pulse Bomb's almost online. Might be able to find a really good pick with that early.
Let's have to see if they land the flank already. New Mexico is up to 50% on this flashpoint. It just ticks up so fast. Clear finds a double he was looking for. Kel will clean up the support, and the flashpoint goes on over toward the Broncos.
Yep, Broncos do have this Pulse Bomb. Clear are going to see if they can find any value out of it. Kind of waiting on the wings here. Could be huge to really stagger an assault.
Oh, he's looking for his target, but can he actually land? He's going to have to recall on out of there. And yeah, he doesn't want to be out there all alone. That's good anti landed onto Kurama. Manages to heal up, however, so it will be a full team fight. Clear once again goes hunting with the sticky. Can he actually land it? He's looking for the right target, moves on in, doesn't throw it out, recalls on out of there, and I'm faked out a second time in a row.
I think they were trying to fake them out, ready for the deflect. Oh, we see Tactical Visor coming out here and just mowing down Bozeman. Almost getting another, but they will be picked up by Kel.
And Clear gets the Pulse Bomb pick he was looking for right as soon as the camera changed. But hey, it's good to know that it worked out nice for him in the end.
Oh yeah, with all that going on there, you can only focus on so much.
Not too much to focus on right now, though. Just a few more ticks, and Boise State has Market.
Yep. Looking here, we got the Kitsune Rush here, as well as Graviton almost. What can be a very deadly combo, give that Soldier 76 the attack speed boost on top of the Graviton. Could just absolutely shred a team if they manage to pick a few of them with it. Graviton.
Oh, what a Gravitron Surge. It's going to force out the beat. Boise State managed to get a few ultimates out of New Mexico with just that one, but they didn't get any picks for it. But there's the first pick. Clear getting Silhouette, Kurama next. Clear picks up another one onto the other support, and the battle of the tanks goes in favor of Kel. That's a full team wipe for the Broncos, who get the flashpoint.
Yep. Kel doing such a good job just surviving that. They threw the Graviton, and it was just like the full force of New Mexico facing off against them. And I believe it was Daydream keeping each other alive and fighting through that. You have to be careful. 3 ultimates up for New Mexico to the Broncos 2. Need to be ready to counter this Dragon Blade, which will probably be seen very soon. You see the Nano Zarya coming out here, 100% charge.
Oh my goodness, just left click to win. My favorite type of gameplay. It usually works out better than that, but I assure you, it is my favorite type of gameplay.
Yeah. Clear will just take this opportunity to kind of get a more advantageous position ready to re-engage when the rest of the team gets closer to the point. Yeah, it was such a good combo with the full charge, but New Mexico just did a good job of kind of splitting the damage, sharing it evenly between members so no one gets completely beamed. And Lyric actually picking the Sombra, Machine going down. See,
A bit of ambushed by Kurama, and a yelp goes out from Matt Marcus. He's caught off guard. New Mexico actually off to a good start, but Bozeman gets antied, and Clear picks him up. 2 antis from the Rampage going on to Boise State. Clear eliminated. Lyric manages to heal up and survive. Kel gets hacked. Can he still stick through it? He can. Daydream doing a good job of keeping those tanks active, but can't do any more, as this could be the first flashpoint for New Mexico.
Matt Merck comes in, will
Much better.
take care of the Genji and just get out of there and kind of stay around, as Sombras tend to do. Looks like 99%.
Oh, they get the touch. Can they actually turn that into a win? Well, that's not a good start. Silhouette, yeah, the overtime is ticking down. Clear can only touch on it, but he gets hacked. It's kind of desperation tactics. The Broncos might just have to give this one up. Yep, so now we are 1-1 in terms of total flash.
Yeah. Not the worst situation to be in. You can always give up one. If you don't want to give up any, you don't have to. See Kel, 92% charge, but isolated and will go down. Luckily, Flashpoint 2 not even opened yet, so not much of a loss here. Clear gonna kind of do some chip damage. Yep, do some chip damage, but gets caught out here. Uses the pulse bomb, gets hacked, and unfortunately goes down.
Nano boost used by Lyric. It doesn't really prove to be that fruitful quite yet. New Mexico takes the flashpoint for themselves. They're going to bring out the Genji Blade to boot. And Matt Merck gets eliminated. And a nice knife on top of that will pick up Daydream. Boise State having a bit of trouble with this third flashpoint.
Yeah, they're getting the sleep on the Dragon Blade Genji, but unfortunately 3 other members were there to pick up the slack.
Bell taking a whole bunch of damage. Not much he can do. Another hack going out onto Clear. Something has just completely fallen apart here. Matt Merck does manage to get a pick onto Kurama, but Barrick stops his rampage. Boise State hasn't won one team fight so far.
Yeah, it's been a lot of just one thing happens early on and it kind of cascades from there. Clear, though, keeping alive in this fight, just getting all this damage on. Almost got the pulse bomb. Gonna actually throw that into the Graviton Surge, getting huge damage.
They brute forced their way through that beat as much as they could, and it worked wonders for them. They'll take back the flashpoint with New Mexico getting to 99. Just one team fight win, and the Lobos will go into the lead.
Yeah, we actually see Matt Merck on the Ashe now has Bob available for this next fight. Going to be very interesting to see how they use, how much value they can get out of Bob here.
Land the hits against Lucio, landing a couple there. Still not using the Bob. There we go. There goes Bob, and he runs right into the wall. Sometimes he isn't the smartest, but hey, he's a loyal, lovable guy. And that's a huge dynamite placed right onto the Lobos. That would be a whole bunch of damage going out, but no picks to speak of. Boise State has to use their beat, and right in time because a lot of them get hacked as well. Kel bites the dust. Lyric is next. And this could be a flashpoint taken back for New Mexico. Boise State has no tank to work with. Daydream eliminated. And I think that's going to do it. New Mexico now goes up 2-1 in the flashpoint biz.
Yeah, New Mexico, I believe they used their EMP and Kitsune Rush.
Oh, Matt, please, calm down, okay? You're going to give me vertigo here.
Yeah, we see, yeah, just not quite enough at the end of that fight. Barely not able to hold the point. We do see the pulse bomb back up, though. Boise State is the first to arrive at the point, and so they're going to just kind of set up and get a nice position here, see if Clear can sneak up and get some value out of this Tracer.
Side Clear looking for the right time to land this bomb. Sees it in the back line. It's going to put it on support. Recalls on out of there. There's a Genji Blade out from New Mexico. Barracks picks off Matt Merck. Silhouette taking a whole bunch of damage, and they manage to land it. The Machine still taking out Kel and losing that tank. I don't know if the Broncos can bring this back. Clear does manage to win kind of an ego battle off to the corner, but meanwhile on the actual point, New Mexico is already to 30% charge.
Yeah, Clear just waging a one-person war back there. Unfortunately, finally goes down to the JQ.
Bell has charged up this Gravitron Surge. Bozeman does have the Beefo to counter it. Doing a good amount of damage, but Cal isn't anywhere near to charged up, so not much damage he can do. He'll move in though, start the engagement. He gets hacked. Taking a lot of damage in retaliation for that hack, and Bob and Kitsune Rush used by the Broncos. Whole bunch of particle effects and damage, and they have them all grouped up. They managed to take out with the help of Trusty Bob. 4, now 5 of the Lobos. The Broncos get a team kill and take back a very crucial flashpoint.
Kel had such good discipline there, letting the sound barrier go off and just surviving till it was just about done, where New Mexico still has the confidence of their sound barrier, but it's just about out, so they're all grouped up when he uses the Graviton and just falling like dominoes after that. We actually see a switch off of the Ashe to Torbjorn now.
Interesting.
Torbjorn,
We'll see how it works out.
could be pretty good against this Genji. That turret not really having to aim too well on its own.
Well, guess who just aimed down the turret? Kurama.
Yeah.
So, you know, that argument remains to be seen.
Ooh,
What a
gets
boot!
it, boot.
Did it get it? Yes, it does. And onto the tank. That is a gold prize right there. He's after even more. Lyric's unstoppable, but it doesn't look like it manages to take out the Kiriko. That's a bit more of a mobile character, but still, Lyric is coming through at such a crucial time from the Broncos. It's a Lucio clutch, and the Broncos are still in this game.
Yeah, just getting that JQ right off the bat just instantly stops the push in his track, and it was a full retreat from there. One more flashpoint. This is do or die for both sides for this round.
It's all come down to this. After 10 months of intensive training, the Broncos are ready to prove themselves on the battlefield, but can they actually get it?
It's for all the marbles. Oh, and yep. It's like Kurama heard me with the turret and is on a mission just to take it out.
All of the marbles, the last straw, the whole enchilada. It comes down to this, where Boise State pick up a sweep against the Lobos. The flashpoint unlocks a good amount of ultimates for both teams. Who presses Q first is the question, as Kurama is coming right up on this blade. Turret is taken out. That's a rampage going in, but it doesn't hit anyone from Boise State, and they still have the beat to negate any sort of ultimate New Mexico brings out. That's a great pick. The hack can't come out from Machine, and they start to fall like dominoes as Boise State goes in, not even having to spend any ultimates because Cal is charged up like you wouldn't believe and takes out New Mexico's tank.
Oh, just, yeah, the initial rampage hitting the wall there, just, yo, you said who presses Q first? You have to hit the Q.
I mean, Boise State didn't even need to press Q was the thing, so.
Oh,
Hi,
and look
turret.
at the clutch.
The true heroes often go unnoticed, but nice little acknowledgement of the turret. All right, we're going to head on in again. Oh, that's a nice move right off the high ground of that. Genji is coming in hot, looking for Lyric, but Matt Merck will be able to pick up a double. Now
Triple.
a triple! And Daydream joins in on the action as well. That is a great team fight for Boise State. It's looking like they could actually win this right here, right now, in a great comeback on Servasta.
Yeah, on 3 ults to just about 3 ults as well. Oh, look, we see, oh no.
Matt Merck
Not
emoting
like that.
to give the charge over to Kel. But look, it's an emote that's not in vain, but New Mexico's throwing everything they can, and they got to if they want to stay in this fight. They've got a great hack onto Boise State. Daydream holding on, can't tank it out. Kurama and Machine moving on to the flashpoint. Boise State might just have to reset here. That is a great move by Lyric, but it's not going to be a clutch move like it was last time. They might just have to reset and live to fight another day.
Yeah, Lyric just getting as many shots in as they can, getting out of there. And, still 99% to 36. No ultimates on the side of New Mexico, but we do have a 2 on the side of Boise State here. Fight favoring Boise State if they could get some value out of these. Have to get a strong engage here.
That's a good Kitsune rush to start things out, and also a sticky bomb placed out. A lot of damage on New Mexico. They don't have a beat, but they do have a Kitsune rush. But Van Merk is able to pick up the tank. That's huge. Kurama falls right after this. This could be it. The one that decides that Boise State needed this win so bad. They're so close taking the flashpoint back. They do manage to take out the Genji silhouette. Both supports are down, and I think that is the final straw. Overtime, tick on down, and Broncos win in their Mountain West debut against New Mexico.
See the emote now in all its glory without the enemy team shooting at them.
I think that was a bait more than anything, because the bubble was placed clear onto him.
Play of the game.
It's going to be Kel. Oh no, it is. We have been bamboozled. We have been bamboozled, as it's Machine who did a lot of great work on that Sombra. And it did help drive the Lobos to the final flashpoint, but the Broncos will win that 3-0 right when they needed a win like that.
Yeah, got a little scared, you know, when with that last point take, but then they came back in decisive fashion and just sweep that last point.
Well, we can take a look at some of the top highlights of the game brought to you by the Idaho National Guard, and we will have an interview after this just to talk a little bit about that fight, so don't go away. But for now, we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. They offer 100 jobs to choose from, with several offering $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. You can live here, work here, and serve here. Reach out to them on Instagram at iGuardIdaho. Enjoy your top 5 plays, and we'll be back with the post-game interview right after this. Point. The time is ticking up for them. Boise State stuck at 99, but Cal doing a great job on the Zarya. Takes out 2 using that. Gets eliminated by Matt Merk, and now 1 squad member down. Make that 2. Both DPSs are gone, and this is not the time that New Mexico wants to reset their sub 30 seconds sent on this flashpoint. It just ticks up so fast. Claire finds a double he was looking for. Kel will clean up the support, and the flashpoint goes on over toward the Broncos. But there's the first pick. Clear getting silhouette. Kurama next. Clear picks up another one onto the other support, and the battle of the tanks goes in favor of Kel. That's a full team wipe for the
Actually, throw that into the Graviton Surge. Getting huge damage.
They brute forced their way through that beat as much as they could, and it worked wonders for
Build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Once there was a traveler whose feet never left the ground. With only his mind as his map and his senses his compass, he raced into the great unknown. Armed only with the speed of legend. His trails he blazed, his rivals he played. Every sprint a blur. Every turn trusting his allies. In silence he raged and waged with quickening, sickening speed. His name a chant filling arenas. Because some heroes leave footprints, others an afterburn. Without conflict, there is no resolution. Without verses, there is no victory.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We just saw a much-needed win by the Broncos against New Mexico for a great start to the Mountain